Hello everybody, this is Thannus here, and today we are back in Metroid Prime. In the last episode, we went around and collected a lot of stuff we could not get to before, and in this episode we're going to be heading back to the Chozo Ruins and making our way to Magmoor Caverns, because I have collected just about everything that I can at the moment. So I will see you guys once we get back to that elevator, which we have already seen before. I'm not going to be heading back to the other elevator, this one right here. Oh wait, no, not that one. This one over here. We'll be using that elevator later, but for now we're going to go to the one that's in the Chozo Ruins. See you guys there. Alright, so I've made it to the elevator to Magmoor Caverns, and we are going to go down now. Sorry about that tap. I just tapped the end of my controller onto the desk. That's not very kind of me. Alright, here we are. Magmoor Caverns. Or at least the elevator out of it. Go ahead and scan those just for OCD's sake. Alright. Music's getting a little bit more dramatic here than it was before. Doesn't seem to be much of anything in here to scan. Interesting. Ah. These are just normal shriek bats, nothing special about them. If we go through here, we have, I believe this is a save room. Yes. We can't scan either of these. Alright. So now that we've saved, we can head through. More shriek bats. And here we have our first new enemy of Magmoor Caverns. This is a Grisby. Subvolcanic carrion feeder. Carapace can be breached by missiles. The Grisby's carapace has been fused together by superheated air. This barrier stands up to everything but concussive blasts. Its intelligence is limited to instinctive scavenging patterns. In other words, a missile works fine. Sorry. Alright. Still not much to scan just yet. Also, I've never noticed that those lines in the side of the scan visor before. Those might be original to the Switch version. I don't remember them in the Wii or GameCube versions of the game. They make weird noises, though. Alright. On the side of the screen, you see that exclamation point. It says warning next to it. That will basically alert you when you are right next to a hazard. It doesn't care about what side of you the hazard is on, as long as you're just close to one. If I move away from the lava, it gets more faint. It will also stay up if I'm next to these little fire things. This is yet another new enemy. A burrower, tunneling insect predator, similar to the beetle, though it spends more time underground. It seeks seismic disturbances and surfaces to attack. It has enough cunning to realize when something is too large for it to handle. Beyond that, it is fairly ignorant. What it lacks in brains, it makes up for in aggression. You can easily shoot those and kill them once they pop out of the ground. Welcome to Magmoor Caverns, so named because of the Magmoors, fire-breathing serpent that dwells in lava. Magmoors prefer extreme heat zones and are susceptible to frigid attack forms. Sightless, they navigate the lava currents using their sonar receptors. Magmoors have a keen sense of smell, enabling them to pinpoint targets with startling accuracy. Magmoors are probably the strongest enemy, aside from an actual boss, up till now. They can be kind of a pain to take out at this point. But once you do take them out, it ain't no thing. Magmoor Caverns is interesting. It is the only place or the only major area in this game that does not have its own boss. Magmoor Caverns is 100% traversal and puzzles, no boss to speak of in this area. It also reuses a song from Metroid, or Super Metroid, sorry. In specific, this is the song that is used in the hot areas of Super Metroid, I believe specifically Lower Norfair. It's been a while since I've played Super Metroid, so my knowledge isn't completely up to snuff on that. The Metroid Prime games have a very interesting trend. They'll use usually just one song from Super Metroid, kind of as a callback in one area of the game. In this game, Magmoor Caverns uses Lower Norfair. In the next game, Torvus Bog uses... I don't recall the exact area that this song is from. I believe it might be Lower Brinstar. I honestly do not remember. And then the third game, Metroid Prime 3, for the Pirate Homeworld, it uses the Space Pirate theme from Super Metroid. That's the most you're gonna get out of me for that. This game also does reuse a song from the original NES Metroid, specifically the Brinstar theme it uses for at least the first version of the Talon Overworld theme. So we've already heard that. But just a little bit of fun factoid for you. There might be a few more songs from other games that are in the Prime games, but it is specifically those three areas that prominently use, like, Super Metroid songs. The Magmoor Caverns theme is also reused in Samus Returns, the 3DS remake of the second Metroid game. Fun fact. This is a puffer. An unstable gas-filled organism will rupture on contact. Puffers fill their bodies with lethal metaviprium gas and float about in search of food. If ruptured, the gas within the puffer is violently released. Despite their fragile bodies, puffers are aggressive hunters. The gas cloud they release upon death is often fatal to the creature that brings them down as well. Not very good at hunting if they die in the process. That's my opinion. Anyways, if we get too close to a puffer, we do get damaged by the gas they release, just like it said. I believe that... Yeah, no, can't do anything to that just yet. So we want to avoid the puffers as much as possible. Got another Magmoor here as well. Get rid of it. I believe Magmoors can dive back down underwater. We haven't seen that yet, but it is a thing they can do. These platforms will lower into the lava, so you don't want to be on them for too long. And that is a grapple beam hook. Nothing special about that one there. It's more just a shortcut than anything once we do finally have the grapple beam. Now, this here, sandstone wall, which means we can blast it open with a morph ball bomb. Very easy. Blast this one open as well, and that gets us to the next area. Way more puffers in this area. I think one just blew up coming into contact with us. If you blow up a puffer close enough to another puffer, it will also do a little bit of AoE and blow up the other puffer as well. Nothing else special about this room. It's just a small little tiny traversal room. Not really anything of note in here. If we head through here, we'll reach this, our first big area of Magmoor Caverns. These things down here are annoying as hell. Triclops, hard-shelled creature with powerful jaws. The Triclops is a hunter-gatherer. It collects small creatures and bits of foodstuff, then deposits them elsewhere for later consumption. The hard tripartite mandibles it uses to move earth and rock are quite strong and difficult to escape once ensnared. These things can't kill you. Well, I think they can. They do a little bit of damage to you at one point, but they're not much threat to us. They're more an annoyance than anything else. I'll show you what I mean. If I get too close to one, it grabs you and spits you out. Does a little bit of damage when that happens, but there's not really a way to keep it from grabbing you or to get it to let you go. You can't do a morph ball bomb once you're in its grasp, so they can kind of be a pain in the neck. Case in point, So you kind of have to let them wander off at first before you try to go through this area. Otherwise, they will keep spitting you back out of the hole. There's nowhere else they'll spit you out. They just repeatedly go after you specifically. Once we get to the other side, they're no problem. I don't think you can kill these things. You might be able to kill them if they're not in the grate, but these ones are in the grate. So I cannot kill them. Not much of scanning use in Magmoor Caverns either. It's a very scan-lacking area of the game, at least so far. Here we have a much bigger area. I'm surprised those cells aren't scannable. Not a big deal. This entire area is kind of big. There's 2 doors, 2 directions we can go through. If we head up here to where this other puffer is, that platform will go down. Not great for us. We now have to go back up. So we gotta be quick here. Let's jump across that platform there. Get rid of the puffers on our way up. We'll get a little bit of damage from them, but it's fine. I don't need to scan right now. I don't know why I had that open. There isn't anything significant down here. No items or anything. If we head the other way, I believe there's a little bit. But most of what's down here is just a little bit of a footpath for us to survive in if we fall into the lava like so. And lava does a lot more damage than the acid water that we experienced earlier. We'll interact with this whole bottom area here soon. But for now, I want to go through that first door we were already heading towards. Just see what's down there. I fell. Ultra energy dropped by that puffer. We'll grab that. Don't forget, you can use your charge beam to pick up stuff that's further away. The only exception is upgrades or expansions, obviously, because you need to work for those. Alright. So in here we have 2 repeatedly moving elevators and a crap load of puffers. Still nothing to scan quite yet. But we can traverse across these elevators just to get to the other side of this room. And in here, we have some auto turrets. These are not new to us. We encountered these things on the Freyr Orpheon. 2 solid missile blasts will take these things out. Oh, there's another one I missed. There we go. Now this whole area is kind of a little bit of a pain. Not a pain, I should say. But just kind of annoying to get through sometimes. If we head into this room here, it's a little bit of a passage that we can traverse through. Take note of this little passageway being cracked like that. It might come in handy later, and if we scan it, it will actually show that there are stress fractures in the Bendesium frame, it says. And if you listen very closely in there, I'm not going to go back now, but there you can hear the item noise in there. This is just another little passageway we can get through here. More grapple points. And I was correct, you cannot kill those things. At least not with our current loadout. Got a much larger missile ammunition refill. These ones refill 10. Let's get rid of this Magmoor here. There we go. These things can't do anything to you when you're not in Morph Ball mode. They do hit you, or they do hurt you when they come into contact you like that. But otherwise, they are completely harmless to you when you're in non-Morph Ball mode. We'll go into this tunnel here. We'll come out this side. But we're not quite done in this room. We're going to want to head up to this area here and bounce up here. Oh, come on. Be very careful rolling down this way. You can probably hear it at this point. Sound of an item. Another missile expansion. Huzzah. And then we're going to unmorph ball as soon as we get on that platform because I don't want to die from that thing. It'll spit you out onto the lava, so just beware. And then we're going to morph ball right back on over to where we just were. Right here. Nice. A little bit of exhaust vent there. A lot of fire in this direction, so be very quick or careful. Well, I was quick, but I wasn't careful, and that was the undoing a little bit, I guess. Anyways, head into here. Have a Magmoor. You want to take this guy out, otherwise he can be an issue when you're trying to get through this room. And then, once we morph ball, we can cross over this way. Nothing in there. I thought that was a grate for some reason, but there's never been an item in this room, so I don't know why I did. Anyways, moving on. We have another elevator here. This one takes us to Talon Overworld West. In other words, this is the elevator that we've already found before. If I go into it and show you... Case in point, we've been here before, but now we have 2 elevators to Magmoor Caverns. That's why I didn't go through this elevator instead of the other one, because I was going to end up here anyway. But also, it kind of wants you to go through the other one. Not that it matters too much. There's no items in Magmoor Caverns that I would have needed to get on the way here. But, you know, it just shows a bit of linearity in kind of the path they wanted you to go. Again, not that it really matters all that much. Anyways, if we continue this way, we have reached a very visible dead end with a magnet rail. We're not done in Magmoor Caverns yet, though. Just reaching that other end of the path where the elevator is for now. But we're going to backtrack a little bit. Specifically, we're going to head all the way back over to... this room here with the monitor station. There's a few things we can do in here. We can also do a little bit more in the Triclops pit as well, but we're not going to go there just yet. We're going to head to the monitor room first. So I'll see you guys once we get back there. Alright, now that we're back in the monitor room, I don't know why I was quiet there for so long. Just killing enemies, vibing, I guess. But now that we are back in the monitor room, there's a few places we can try to go in here. But before we do that, I want to see... No, there still isn't anything to scan here. Only direction we can go at the moment is up this way across this hovering platform. We can climb up the side of the building here. Get rid of this turret. And in this area, like in this specific area in the original game on GameCube, I don't know where exactly you can hear it in this version. I think it's still audible somewhere, but there is a very, very loud, like, elevator sound in this room, and it's right around this area. And for some reason, it's just incredibly loud, despite the fact, as far as I'm aware, there's no elevator to be seen in this entire room. It just plays that sound constantly. It's strange to me, but whatever. It is what it is. I didn't make the game. Report any signs of magma predator activity to Security Central at once. So it seems like they've been setting some stuff up here. Local crystal formations possess low phazon residue. They do have high value to the Monks of Grondheim, however. Recommend processing of crystal for that market once phazon operations cease. Interesting. We don't know what the Monks of Grondheim are, actually. That's not a thing that they've really ever touched on. Geothermal power routing to this station is complete. Unstable magma flow is a concern. Remove tower from geothermal grid if fluctuations exceed safety levels. We can only assume the monks of Grunheim are some extragalactic society or something of that sort. Or not extragalactic per se, but extraterrestrial, not of this planet specifically. Immersion pistons are leaching power from the magma pools as planned. Geothermal power source is promising. Recommend energy command deactivate central dynamo and switch to geothermal power at once. Alright. So the space pirates are up to no good pretty much. Let's get rid of that thing. So there's that hole down there. We've already been in there. There's another door we can get through there, and we cannot get up here yet. We are completely incapable. So, this door is the only way through. Unfortunately for us. We head into this tunnel here. We want to actually head up this way. And you have to get that right, otherwise you will fall down. These boxes can only take 2 hits of damage. And we got another energy tank in the process. That's the only item in this room. No other ones in this room. Anyways, we head on through all the way, reach the other door. And here we are at yet another elevator. Access to Phendrana Drifts North granted. Please step into the hologram. We'll head back here in a second, but there's still one more area I want to check before we move on. I will see you guys not back at the monitor station, but back here in the Triclops pit. See you guys in just a moment. Alright, so now that we're back in the Triclops pit, you can see there's obviously a lot of Triclops down here. If we head into this little room here, it's a little bit of a pit. Not much to speak of down in this area, at least not at the moment, until you see this hole here. Lets us head into the Triclops pit. And we'll be immediately ejected because I ran right into a Triclops there. Anyways, let's go back in. Preferably without heading straight to a Triclops this time. Oh god. It'll head straight for you, though. Avoid them to the best of your ability. We'll head into this room here. This is the other door that we could not get to a second ago. Let's grab all that, head through the door. It's a nice little tiny area. No exit in here. But if we head around, we can grab this missile. Very easy item. And as far as I'm aware, nothing else to speak of in this room, like, at all. Alright. Now we can head back into the Triclops pit. I believe... Oh, okay, thank you, Triclops. Okay, you're actually taking me right where I want to go. Thank you for that. So now we can go into this area of the Triclops pit. This was not as intended. Or intentional. Okay. Now, I believe that is everything that is in this room, or at least everything that's worth grabbing at the present. We're just in there. Yep, that should do it for the Triclops pit. Alright, so now I'll see you guys back at the elevator for Phendrana Drifts. Alright, here we are. To Phendrana Drifts, we go. very distinct tonal whiplash. We have gone from a area covered in fire and lava to one covered in ice and snow. Let's head through here, shatter that ice, get it out of our way. As we head through, we have welcome to Phendrana Drifts. And with that, I will see you guys in the next episode, where we explore Phendrana Drifts further. Have a good one. Bye.